Welcome back to Two Wheel Trends, your one-stop destination for the latest, most detailed, and most passionate bike reviews in the world of two-wheelers. Today, we're not just talking about a motorcycle, we're revisiting a legend, a name that evokes nostalgia, pride, and an iconic status that only a few bikes in India have ever managed to achieve. That's right, we're diving deep into the all-new, reimagined, and re-engineered 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350. A bike that once ruled the streets of India with its raw two-stroke charm is now back in a modern four-stroke avatar, and it's making noise in all the right ways. Now, if you were born in the 70s or 80s, the name Rajdoot 350 would instantly ring a bell. For many, it was the first taste of power, torque, and performance. This modern interpretation pays homage to the original in terms of spirit, but everything else, from the chassis to the electronics, is a showcase of Yamaha's current engineering mastery. Let's kick things off with what you first see of the design. The 2025 Rajdoot 350 is an exercise in blending classic lines with a new age attitude. From the front, the motorcycle looks confidently retro. You're greeted by a circular LED headlamp unit that has a vintage housing but all the modern internals. The DRLs are shaped to resemble the classic glass beam of the original bike, and the turn indicators retain a rounded shell, complete with amber LED inserts. The front forks are chunky telescopic units with rubber gaiters, and the bike rides on spoked wheels wrapped in dual-purpose tires that give it a slightly rugged stance. The front mudguard is slim and chromed, mirroring the aesthetic of the Rajdoot of the 80s. From the side, the profile is where this bike truly flexes its heritage-inspired design. The fuel tank is teardrop-shaped, complete with hand-painted pinstripes and the iconic Yamaha Tuning Forks logo. The engine block is prominently on display, with a combination of black and brushed metal finishes. The side panels are reminiscent of the older bike but have been tastefully updated with minimalistic branding. You get a flat seat with a dual-tone cover that provides just the right amount of cushioning. It sits on a twin cradle frame that's been purpose-built for rigidity and comfort. There's a subtle upward kink on the tail end of the seat, another nod to the classic silhouette. The twin shock absorbers are gas-charged and painted in matte black, while the exhaust pipes are twin, upswept, and chromed to perfection. The footpegs are positioned for neutral ergonomics, giving you that relaxed yet commanding posture. From the rear, the bike continues to impress. The tail lamp is a small, rectangular LED unit enclosed in a chrome housing, paying direct homage to the original Rajdoot. The turn indicators match the front, rounded, amber, and LED-powered. The number plate holder is minimalist, and there's even a small chrome grab rail for the pillion. The dual exhausts peek out neatly from under the tail and sound absolutely throaty when revved. Every element, from the mudguard to the chain cover, has been carefully crafted to maintain a cohesive design theme that balances vintage soul with contemporary function. Now, let's get into what makes this machine move. The engine. Under the tank, the 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350 hides a thoroughly modern power plant. It's a 349cc, single-cylinder, fuel-injected, air and oil-cooled engine that's been tuned for a unique blend of performance and character. Yamaha's engineers wanted the new Rajdoot to echo the punchiness of the original two-stroke while maintaining emissions compliance and long-term reliability. This new engine puts out a healthy 28.5 horsepower at 8,500 rpm and 30 Nm of torque, peaking at 6,500 rpm. It's mated to a 6-speed gearbox with short, crisp shifts and a slipper clutch for smoother downshifting. The throttle response is immediate but not jerky, and the torque delivery is flat and predictable, making it perfect for both city commuting and highway cruising. What really stands out about this engine is the feel. Yamaha has tuned the intake and exhaust notes to mimic the throaty growl of the two-stroke Rajdoot, and while it doesn't scream like the original, it still sounds distinct. There's a mechanical honesty to it, with a slight vibration that reminds you you're riding a real motorcycle and not a digital appliance on wheels. The refinement levels are high, but not too clinical. It still has that raw, tactile connection with the rider that so many modern bikes lack. Let's talk performance. On paper, the Rajdoot 350 may not seem like a speed demon, but real-world performance is where it shines. It hits 0 to 60 km/h in under 4.5 seconds and tops out at around 135 km/h. More importantly, it gets there in a manner that feels exciting without being overwhelming. The mid-range is punchy, and overtaking in traffic or on highways is a breeze. Yamaha has struck a great balance between usability and thrill. The gear ratios are perfectly spaced, and the bike never feels out of breath even when pushed hard. The suspension setup is another highlight, soft enough to absorb potholes and rough patches, yet firm enough to give you confidence around corners. The front gets 37mm forks while the rear gets twin gas-charged shocks with adjustable preload. Braking duties are handled by a 300mm disc at the front and a 240mm disc at the rear, with dual-channel ABS as standard. The brakes feel progressive, with plenty of bite when needed, and there's enough feedback to modulate them confidently. The frame geometry allows for a balanced and stable ride, whether you're carving through guts or cruising down open highways. The Rajdoot 350 remains planted. The 19-inch front and 18-inch rear wheels add to this stability, while the MRF dual-purpose tires offer enough grip across different terrains. The seat height is accessible at 790mm, and the overall curb weight stands at 178 g, light enough to be flexible, but solid enough to feel grounded. Tech-wise, Yamaha has gone with the neo-retro philosophy. You get a semi-digital instrument cluster that combines an analog speedometer with a digital inset for the fuel gauge, gear position, odometer, and trip meters. There's even Bluetooth connectivity via the Yamaha Y-Connect app, giving you features like call alerts, ride stats, and even maintenance reminders. But all of this is integrated subtly so as not to take away from the classic aesthetic. You also get USB charging, a hazard light switch, and an engine kill switch, small touches that make a big difference in daily usability. When it comes to pricing, Yamaha has positioned the 2025 Rajdoot 350 competitively. The base model starts at Rs. 2.19 lakh ex showroom, while the top-end variant with two-tone paint schemes, bar and mirrors, and optional accessories like a flat screen and leather saddlebags goes up to Rs. 2.45 lakh. That puts it squarely in competition with bikes like the Royal Enfield Classic 350, Jawa 42 Bobber, and even the Honda CB350. But where the Rajdoot wins is in emotion. It's not just another modern classic, it's a revived icon with a legacy that speaks volumes. The pricing reflects the value Yamaha is offering: premium build, authentic design, robust performance, and the soul of a legend. Now, who is this bike for? If you're someone who remembers the original Rajdoot, this is your time machine, only this one's more refined, more capable, and built for the modern road. For younger riders, the 2025 Rajdoot 350 offers something very few motorcycles do: a chance to connect with India's rich biking history while still enjoying the benefits of modern-day reliability and performance. It's a bike that doesn't shout, it speaks. And if you listen closely, you'll hear decades of motorcycling heritage echoing through its engine note and exhaust rumble. Riding this bike isn't just about commuting from point A to point B. It's about enjoying the journey in between. Every throttle twist feels deliberate. Every gear change feels mechanical and tactile. Every ride is an occasion. And in a market flooded with plastic-faired sport bikes and feature-laden commuters, the Rajdoot 350 is a welcome breath of petrol-scented, chrome-lined, old-school air. In conclusion, the 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350 is a celebration of legacy, an ode to engineering, and a gift to motorcyclists who value the soul of their machine as much as the specs on paper. It's honest, it's bold, and it's everything a modern classic should be. Yamaha has not only brought back a legend, they've refined it, respected it, and reintroduced it to a generation that's ready to ride. That's it for today's detailed review on two-wheel trends. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow riders, and subscribe for more in-depth two-wheeled content. Drop a comment and tell USA when you buy the new Rajdoot 350, or are you still holding out for the OG two-stroke revival? Until next time, ride safe, ride smart, and as always, keep it on two wheels.